My name is Gianna Gustafson and I'm a junior.
I'm Matthew Evans and I'm a senior.
My name is Emily and I'm a junior in high school.
My name is Tessa Fowler. I'm a senior.
I tore my right ACL and both sides of my meniscus, and then I tore my medial meniscus on my right side again. And then I tore my left ACL on both sides of my meniscus, and then my medial meniscus on my left side didn't heal, so I had to get surgery on that again.
I tore my ACL on my left leg last May. I was at lacrosse practice and we were doing one-on-ones, and part of the drill I was just running and there was a ball bucket in my way and I jumped over the ball bucket, and then when I landed I tore my ACL.
I tore both my ACLs. I tore one of my meniscuses in my right leg.
I tore my ACL and my meniscus.
So ACL tears can happen in a couple different ways. You kind of break them up into non-contact and then contact injuries. So non-contact is probably the most common that you hear about. That's usually a scenario where an athlete has nobody around them and they make like a weird step or hyperextend their knee, and then your ACL gets torn. Contact obviously incorporates another person coming into contact with you and resulting in the knee getting twisted or pushed in a weird way and the ACL gets torn.
It happened on August 26th of this year, and it was in a soccer game on the field. I basically jumped up for a ball that was bouncing. I jumped, I landed, and then I took a step with my right leg and I heard two big pops and it was very painful. And I went down and I knew right away.
For rehab, especially like ACL rehab, it's a really long haul rehab.
My recovery was around 11 months, so I didn't play soccer from November of 2022 to November of 2023.
I think the number one thing you really need is a support system. You need to make sure you have people around you who can support you and be there when you have those like low moments, but also be there when you have those great successes where you get to ride the bike for the first time. And so I think that's really important, and some people don't always think about that. The other thing is you have to kind of get yourself in a mindset that it's gonna be a long haul rehab, and so you're gonna have ups and downs, which is okay, but you need to be committed.
I've found support and help through this process just trying to find a community. It really is lonely. If you haven't been through it, you really don't understand. And so I found a Facebook group that helped me connect with people, other parents who were going through the same thing. I learned a lot through that group of people. So just finding people who you can talk to.
So there's a couple different phases that people go through for ACL rehabilitation. Instead of saying like, oh, there's like 6 phases in all, it's kind of more like a flow through hitting goals as you reach them. So the first phase, you have a collection of goals where you're really trying to get your range of motion, swelling down, reactivate your quadriceps muscles, as well as some like surrounding musculature. And then you kind of flow into that next phase, which is going to be more just overall strengthening. And you're really just focusing on every muscle you could think of in the lower half of your body. Once you get to a certain point there, then you kind of just keep advancing functionally. And you pretty much just keep hitting goals from that point on. But I would say strengthening is like your number one goal throughout the entire time.
The recovery's been interesting, I guess. I've done a lot of things. Like the physical therapy's been tough, just because you like all the stuff you're used to doing that you can just do super easily. Like once you tear your ACL, you can't do it like that anymore. And like even today, I mean, I'm almost 6 months out from when I had my surgery, and even today, like it's still hard to do some things. And so that's been the hardest part about the recovery, is just that like you have to get used to not being able to do all the things you used to do.